trying to get set up for a live is not always an easy thing when technology does not want to do what you want it to do. So it does not really have, maybe there. There. Let's try that for a bit. There. I don't know. Anyway, how are you all? Welcome to my live rocking chair knit and chat. I'm still trying to figure out the best place to put my camera. Maybe there? Maybe. I have my knitting with me. I've got my favorite beverage with me. I've got a little bit of snack beside me. And I'm just going to sit in my cozy chair with my purple prayer shawl behind me. And you can see it's still daylight outside. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Time here. And I'm so glad that you are joining me. If you're here now, or even if you're watching the replay later, it doesn't matter to me. My name is Doll, and I am part of what's known as Doll Can Create. I have a blog, I have an Etsy store, I have an eBay store, I have a Patreon. I'm just kind of all over the place. Doll Can is also on Instagram, and I post there fairly regularly, as well as on Facebook. So there's lots of places you can find me. So I'm working with this lovely purple right now. It's a merino, hand spun. And let me just see if I can lift this up. This is my Lenten project that I started, and I work on some every day. I already worked on some here today, but I thought, well, I'll pick it up while we're chatting. That's all hand spun, and it's not all the same textures because the fiber wasn't all the same. So I have some local fibers. I have some fibers that were purchased already dyed. I've dyed some of them. Yeah, it's kind of what I like to do. And I absolutely love modular knitting, which is really what this is. So I'm working on only 10 stitches at a time, which is kind of nice, right? So I'm just going back and forth and back and forth. And when I get to the corner, I have to pay attention because it's a whole bunch of wrap and turns, and without watching the pattern and marking which one I'm on, then it doesn't go as well. And the corners, let me see if I can show you one here, are kind of nice, when they all line up. So I don't want to mess them up. I have a few more rows here to knit this evening, but so have you picked up something to work on while we're chatting? And if you're here, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, comment if you'd like. I'm just going to see here, live chat. Yeah, perfect. So I think it's all set up properly. I never really know. Never, ever really know. So the change in weather. Oh my goodness. 22 degrees the other day, Celsius. It was nice and warm. Beautiful spring day. And I think by now it's probably close to 0 Celsius. It was dropping all day and going below 0 overnight. So, we're not out of the woods yet. And that's fine. It is what it is, right, friends? It's the weather, and Canadians love to talk about the weather. Actually, I do too. I do too. It's always kind of fun. Really windy here today. I had a surprise call from family who said, "What are you doing? We're going to come and visit if it's okay." And I hadn't seen them since Boxing Day. So was I going to turn it down? No way, babe. No way. So we had some cheese and crackers and meat and grapes and some snacky stuff, and we played euchre and we played Mexican trains, and we had a good time. and a really good visit. So I'm so happy about that. Nick is currently in his office at his computer writing. He's putting some stories together for an anthology. So he spends some time each evening writing, which is kind of good for him. And yeah, so things are quiet here. The rabbit's been moved outside, so you're not going to hear him banging on that water bottle anymore. We had to get him out of the house. We had too many flies. It was like, oh, it was awful. So I checked on him. He's fine. He, I gave him a bit of banana peel, and he turned his nose up at it, which usually is his favorite. But then I gave him some lettuce, um, that I have lots of, and I didn't want it to go bad, and he just chowed right down on that. So a happy boy. He is. He is. Yeah. Everything's ready for tomorrow. I printed out my sermon notes. I do a mind map in color, and it's kind of a neat way for me to remind myself. It's visual cues, really, is all it is. But it keeps me on track, right? So I've done a lot lately, and if you follow me on my blog, you'll see that I've been posting some Lenten readings for reflection, scripture reflection, for people who like to do daily during this time of year, posting about our 100-mile life, which is going really well, I must say. There's a few things that are costing me more. There's also some things I'm not buying, that I believe I'm saving some money on. So that's a good thing too. Still trying to decide about going to the fiber show tomorrow. I wish I could decide. It's just I don't need anything, and I know if I go, I'm going to want to buy something, and if I don't buy anything, then I'm going to feel grumpy. Not good, right? Not good at all. So, what would you do? What would you do? Would you go? I have a budget for it. I put some money aside, so it's not like I can't spend any money. It's like, do I want to spend any money? And when you have a large fiber stash, it seems kind of, I wouldn't say wasteful, but maybe redundant to buy more and more, right? And more. It's what you do. So I've been really good about not buying other things, right? Cutting back on the budget and what have you. I have a runny nose here tonight. It's springtime, so there's allergies, right? So what am I working on for next week? As far as videos go, I'm looking at doing one on coping with anxiety because that's been a part of my life, well, for most of my life. But I have some thoughts to share about that. And, excuse me, just a bit of a runny nose. And if I do get to the fiber show tomorrow, then I'm going to do a bit of a recap on that and show you any purchases I may or may not have made. I'll continue to share what's going on with my Lenten blanket. Excuse me. I've talked a lot today, so my voice should be in good shape, I would think. But who knows? I'll just rock. Do you have a chair that you like a cozy lazy boy type chair or a rocking chair? This one was a gift, and I've worn it out. I'm sitting on two cushions underneath me and a cushion behind me. Actually, there should be two back there right now. There may not be, but there should be. Um, I need to replace the chair. So a big part of me says go to the thrift store. Just hawk the thrift stores till you find something you like that's in good shape and that rocks because I need to be able to rock, right? And I don't really want to go buy new. I don't like just going out and spending money like that. And I have a hard time doing it. I get really uptight when it comes to spending money. So, yeah. Maybe I talked myself out today. Is that possibly what happened? I don't know. I just don't know. Some of you know I was looking for a replacement for my Gatorade. I really like Gatorade, and especially the G Zero with no sugar. I like the way it tastes, I like the way I feel. But I was looking for something that I could make myself. So I found a recipe that was coconut water, orange juice, pineapple juice, salt, and cream of tartar, just a little bit, like a quarter of a teaspoon to the whole recipe. And it tastes really, really good. So I mix up a liter jug, a liter jar, and I drink it throughout the day. And it tasted really good. Put a little bit of maple syrup in it for sweetness. Um, so far so good. I like it. I can change it up by using lemon juice instead of orange juice. I don't have to add the pineapple juice, but the pineapple juice also has potassium in it. I want to try one with the lemon and grated ginger. Yeah, I think the ginger would be nice in it as well. And then I'd put it in the blender and whip it all up. I think that would be good. But just looking for alternatives. Now, none of those items, though, are local to me. And if I'm trying to be local, that's not really going to help me a whole lot. It's just a more healthy alternative to the Gatorade, the G Zero. So at least that's in my head. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please let me know what your thoughts are. We got our produce order yesterday and the day before. So we have lots of fruit and veg. We have some meat. I'm going to have to buy some meat. And we have tons of eggs, tons and tons of eggs. So we're well stocked. And that's a good thing too. Just pull my shirt down here a little bit. There we go. So I wondered if you had any questions for me. I mean, I'm working away at this blanket. I think I have one more row to go, and then I'm going to have to put it down until I can go back to my pattern. Or one more down and back is what I have. So, and then I'm going to switch to my sock, and I'll show you how it's doing because I'm a week behind. Just a little frustrating, right? And I thought maybe I'd let you know a little bit about what I'm reading right now. I have a copy of Good Morning, Good Life by Amy Landino and really like it. Didn't finish it, so I picked it up again and I'm going to start at the beginning and go through the things I've highlighted and the notes I've taken and do that. And I can't see it from here. I've got two other books I'm reading as well as. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. Here it is. How to be a craftivist. And I barely gotten into that. So I think that's going to be one of the more important books I read this spring. And I have an intention of finishing it. I usually start books and then don't finish them. So this time, yeah, there's more than just reading it. It's going to be finding through the book and through ideas that come to me creatively to put into place. So that's the other book I'm reading. I'm not a huge reader, and I usually only read for reference. So anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go. And I'll tell you why first. Like here, I have this much purple left, which might get me down and back twice. But I don't like changing color when I'm trying to do a corner. So I'm going to change color at the beginning of the corner. I'll show you why I say that. So here, I came down to here, right? Let me see if I can pull it up a little bit more. So I did this corner to here, then I started to do the corner, but I didn't have enough to finish it, so I finished it in the gray. And that just, yeah, it just didn't follow through very well because the color overlapped. So since then, I've been very clear about when I change color and make sure that the colors all change. Either I have enough to get around it completely, or I change it as I start the curve. So I'm going to put that aside and decide. I have to find whatever next bit of wool I want to use on that one. And I will pick up my sock. So this is my March sock. I'm not sure it's going to be a pair. It was supposed to be done a week ago. But this is Heel Toe Do-Si Do by Crazy Sock Lady. And if I turn it this way, you can see the cables better, right? The pattern's on Ravelry, if you want to look that up. Really like it. I'm doing the toe. So that's a really good sign. I thought I had much farther to go on the leg, but or on the foot. And when I tried it on, I thought, no, I don't need to do that. So it may even get finished tonight before I go to bed. And if not tonight, it will tomorrow. So like I said, a week behind, and I will immediately cast on the second sock, because if you don't, I tell you, it can get put aside, and then you don't work on it, right? That's kind of how it is. So I'll just knit. Pretty quiet, isn't it? So if you're watching this in the replay, I'm hoping to add some music to some background here as well. So you never know, right? I got a couple more minutes to sit here with you. And I'm going to fold some laundry and empty the dishwasher, do all the evening things I do, make sure I have everything gathered up for church in the morning so I'm not rushing my head off. Do you do that? Do you gather things up the night before and make sure you have everything so that you're not looking in the morning? And I like to know exactly which clothes I'm wearing. So that's not hard on a Sunday morning. I know what I'm wearing and I know where it is and I know it's clean. That's pretty important. But I do that the night before, which is a really, really good thing to do. And it's been a habit. So kind of nice to do. I'll set up the coffee and then I'll be ready to go. Like these needles, I'm working with 2.5, a US 1.5. I think that's what that says. My eyes are kind of dimming. But I really like them. And they're actually some of my favorite needles are these little red ones. And I have two sets. So, I have two sets and one extra needle. So that's kind of nice. I think what I will do though is stop for a minute and show you my new needles, because I did get some new ones. Part of it is part of a Christmas present. Okay, so I got these. These are Knit Picks shorties. They're really short. Interchangeable. You can see the cable. It's very, very short. Right. Really nice though. Really nice. They're shorter than what I'm used to. So that'll be a complete shift for me. Honestly, I bought the wrong thing. I did not realize when I got this that I was buying the wrong size. So I'll just take these out. Maybe they're on the other side. So they start at a 3.5, which isn't very small, really. These would be mitten size. And you can see these are 4 square shorts. So they're cubed, which I do like. Aren't they pretty? Let me see if I can get this up to the camera and get a nice glowing picture. Maybe not. It's too much light reflecting. So that was one thing I got. 3.5, they go in here. And I like when things come in a case that I can put things away. And the other one I got, again, it was Knit Picks, was the larger set. Dun, ta-da, there. So 3.5 to 8, interchangeable rainbow wood. So the same size needle, and that these are 3.5 or US 4s. But they're round and they're longer. So, yeah. But again, the rainbow, aren't they pretty? They said, I don't know how to do this there. Maybe that does it. The light's coming from in front. So, I had never had interchangeable needles before. I'm trying to think here. 37535. I'm using one set right now, and I can't remember what size it is. I'm hoping it's the right size. I'm working on a shawl. There we go. And they have a nice long cable as well. So that was part of a Christmas present as well. Liking them. Of course, I have lots of favorite needles. I'm using these ones. Now, I don't know which brand they are. They're not very long, but they're good for modular. So when you're doing shorter things, and I think this is a 4, but you know what? I've worn them out so long. And the tips aren't as nice as they used to be. Oh, it's a US 7. So what is a US 7? 4.5. So that's a 4.5. And I really like that. That's what I'm using on my blanket. So friends, I think that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. Am I spinning? Yes, I'm still spinning, spindling while I sit here. When I need a break from knitting, I will pick up my spindle and some fiber and spin. Nick is opening up some fibers for me. Some dark brown that came from a farm back in 2015, I think. From friends of mine. We were there for the sharing, and I got some fleece from him. And the other is from the local person that we met outside of Cambridge. And he's opening some of it up for me as well. So lots of fiber to spin, lots of fiber to prep. I'm dyeing a lot of sock yarn. Now this is one of my hand dyed. It's kind of a speckled springtime, I don't know what you'd call it. The violet and the cherry red in it. I like it. I think it's really pretty. But if you have a color of sock yarn that you're not seeing anywhere and you'd like to give it a try, let me know. And we can have a conversation about that. I'm doing all sorts of colors right now. And currently, I will focus on food grade dyes. I have some acid dyes. I don't like working with them. They're not for me. So I will stick with food grade, use lots of vinegar if I need to use a lot of vinegar, or oh, alum if I need to use a lot of alum. I'll use what I have to. But I'm also, as spring comes a little bit closer, I will be looking more and more at natural dyes. So I'll use the food grade dyes to get the pops of color that I want. And for the more neutral tones, I will use the natural. So if you want to see more of that, leave that in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I post some pictures, and I also talk with you a little bit more about that. The sock yarn is 80/20 nylon is 20, merino is 80, and it's wonderful to work with. It is so nice. It knits smoothly. I'm just really impressed with this yarn. This is not hand spun. I do knit socks with hand spun, but currently I have a lot of sock yarn, so there you go. I'll just go with what I have for now. But I think that's it for today in my little rocking chair knit and chat. I I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time with me. I try to do one of these about every week, and I haven't found a day or a time that is consistent. And if I do, you'll be the first to know. So please like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Hit the notification bell. You'll know when I'm going live. And join me on this journey. It is pretty amazing how we can slow down life, slow down the pace, enjoy all the little bumps and nooks and crannies along the way, and feel wonderful while we're doing it. So for now, I'm going to say God bless. Many, many blessings. Thank you again for joining me. And until next time, this is Doll from Doll Can Create, and you can too. Bye for now.